Hey guys, it's Dr. Bickling from Own It Dental. As always, here's my contact information if you need to get a hold of me. And if you guys are enjoying these videos, please do hit that like button, hit that thumbs up button. It's right down below, and it's the only option I'm giving you. Speaking of only giving one option, today we're going to talk about how you or your associates can improve their case acceptance by only giving one treatment option. So let's dig into it. All right, so like I said, if you or your associates want to improve your case acceptance, don't send your patient up to the treatment coordinator or the treatment planner with multiple options. Send them there with one option. Because by the time they get up there, they're like, well, what was option number one again and option number two? And we're relying on somebody up front to answer all the dental questions who many times has never even sat in the dental chair before. Sure, they may know what they're talking about, but oftentimes I find that they're just adding more to the confusion and then nobody gets anything done. So by the time the patient gets right here, let's stop with this whole option number one, option number two, option number three, option number four stuff. It's your job as a dentist and it's your job as an associate to get this down to option number one, only one option, and it's the option that works best for the patient. So today in our video, I'm going to give you the verbiage on how to get there. What are the exact words to say so that you too can get the patient narrowed down to one option before they get to the treatment planner, the treatment coordinator, and then that way you make life a lot simpler, both for you, for the patient, for the treatment coordinator, and you're going to increase your case acceptance this way, I guarantee it. So here's the most obvious case, something along these lines. Patient has a missing tooth and they basically have three different options, all right? So in an instance like this, don't send them to the treatment coordinator with three different options. Try to narrow it down for which one works. Now, typically, as you all know, if you've seen my previous videos, I'd say, if a patient has a missing tooth or missing teeth, I'd ask a question. Mr. Jones, I see you have a missing tooth. Tell me about that. Right? And then they'll tell me what's going on, whether they're aware of it, concerned about it, and all that stuff. And then I'll say, are you aware of your treatment options? Question. Right? Would you like something that comes in and out or something that stays in place? And I just kind of go down that line of questioning. But then we have to get to a point, but Dr. Bickling, I have to explain to them their options, the pros and the cons and all that stuff. Absolutely 100% agree with you. So today, the way this video is going to be a little bit different is I'm going to show you exactly how to give them their options, tell them the pros and cons, but then also narrow it down. Which one are they going to do? So today we're going to talk about the exact verbiage and we're going to use this exact verbiage. So what you're going to have is either a model or a photograph of a dental implant. And you're going to say, this is a dental implant. It stays in place. It takes roughly 3 to 6 months to complete. And again, you can vary the time based off of the patient's scenario. These cost roughly $5,000 to $6,000, and your insurance will pay a little bit of it. Maybe $1,000, maybe $1,500, whatever your insurance maximum is, that's probably the most they're going to cover. So out of pocket, you're probably looking at about $4,000 to $5,000. And again, it's going to be 3 to 6 months. This is the most tooth-like option, and I don't have to do anything to the adjacent teeth. This is a bridge. And again, have a model of a bridge or a photograph or a video of a bridge, something like that. This is a bridge. It too stays in place. I can have this done for you in about 2 to 3 weeks, and you'll never be without a tooth because I can make it temporary for you right away. This costs about half as much as a dental implant, and your insurance will cover about half of this. Again, I'm just using ballpark figures, but this is about half expensive. The downside is I do have to drill on the 2 adjacent teeth in order to do this. And lastly, this is a partial denture. This is the one that comes in and out. It's going to take 8 weeks. It's going to cost you $1,500 or $1,000. Your insurance will cover half of it. You're going to hate it. It's going to end up in your nightstand, and you're going to hate me, and you're going to blame me, and you're going to be in here every other week getting this adjusted because it hurts and it's digging in and you can't chew your food and you can't speak properly. But if you want to come in and see me every week for the next 3 months, and still end up with this in your nightstand, then I'm happy to take your money. So, this is a partial denture, right? Then once you've gone over those options, see that took me 2 minutes, 3 minutes max, right? To do this. Once you've gone over those options, then you say these words, say these exact words. Which one of these options works best for you? And then you zip it. right? You button it and you listen. Because at this point, they're gonna tell you one of three things or one of a couple of things. They're gonna tell you which option works best for you. Well, I don't want the partial, the implant's expensive, so I like that bridge option. And then you just go, what's the famous word? Okay. You just go, okay. And then you put the bridge on the treatment plan, right? So they're either going to tell you which option works for them, or they're going to have an objection, and the objection will present itself. That's why you button it and you listen. So you ask, here you go, we'll go back. You ask them this exact question. After you've told them their options, you say, which one of these options works best for you? And then you zip it, right? Now, if the objection comes out, they're probably going to say something along the lines of, well, I kind of need to see them written out. Right? Something like that, right? And this is typically where we'd send them to the front with three different options, right? But let me give you a little hint. When they say something like that, translation, I have an objection, and I'm not telling you what it is. Typically, that objection is probably money or something along those lines. So what I would then do is I would go back and I would ask these questions again. Well, I would go back to, well, let's try to make your life a little easier and my treatment planner's life a little easier. And let's see if we can narrow it down a little bit for you. So were you thinking about the thing that comes in and out, or maybe one of the two options that stays in place? And if they say, oh, I don't want the thing that comes in and out, we can take that one off the table, right? And one's gone. And now we're down between the two, the implant and the bridge. And you say, okay, so between the two that stay in place, one takes a little longer and is going to cost about $5,000 or $6,000. The other one I can get done a lot quicker. It's about half the cost, but I do have to drill on the two teeth side by side. Does either one of those sound better to you? Question. And then again, zip it. We're right back to here again, right? So that's how you narrow that down. Or maybe their objection comes out, well, I have to see it all written down. Okay, well, do you like the one that stays in place or the one that comes in and out? And they'll say, well, I want one of the ones that stay in place. Or that implant one, that sounds way too expensive. And then whenever they bring up an objection, you agree with the objection. You say, okay, that's fine. Well, it sounds like the bridge is the option for you. And they're like, yeah, that's the one I think I want. And then you say, okay. And then you send them up to the treatment planner with the one option that you guys agreed upon that was the patient's idea. And that's the idea, is once you get to this point, the patient should have only one option on their treatment plan. Now, you can break that one option down into multiple phases. If there's a lot of work to be done and the patient can't afford to get it all done at once, and you want to break it down into multiple phases, that's fine. But don't give them 3 or 4 different treatment options by the time that they get to here. By the time that they get to here, you should have narrowed it down to one. That's your job as a dentist to do that. It's your job to ask the appropriate questions to find out what works for the patient. And that's the key. The one option is not the one that works for you, doctor. It's the one that works for the patient. So by the time they get here, you should have it narrowed down to one. You should have said the magic words, okay. And as soon as you do, you're going to have much improved case acceptance. I guarantee it. So in any case, go back, rewatch this video, watch the verbiage, say those exact words, pick up the phone and say the words that I wrote down, right? From The Wolf of Wall Street, right? Pick up the phone, say the words that I wrote. If you say those words, you'll increase your case acceptance, you'll narrow it down to one option, and everyone's going to be happy, and their teeth will be smiley and bright. So in any case, I'm rambling. All right, I'm Dr. Bickling. Here is my contact information, and I'll see you on the next one. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like it, go to ownitdental.com or click the link above and check out my services. I have dozens of hours of training videos and have negotiated reduced lab fees for all my clients. So if you want to get out of the dental chair and start owning your business, go to ownitdental.com and check out my services, and I'll see you soon.